do not forgive somebody who has hurt you, then it means you are telling God that deal with me as I've also dealt with that person.
Wow. If I train my child such that he comes out of school and he cannot do an alternative job, then I think as a parent, I am failing.
The midnight that you cannot sleep and thinking about this child, tell yourself, Lord, I hand over this my wayward child unto you.
It is not about the job the person is doing in terms of what we think. But at the end of the day, is it the will of God?
I think that it's very unhealthy for couples to be talking about breaking up and threatening them. It doesn't really solve. If the person is unrepentant, that cannot change it. Start with prayer.
One of the sickness that I pray to God everybody will get one in his life before they die and become a ghost is toothache. I don't know if you had toothache before.
I've had it before. You can't sleep.
The anointing doesn't solve it.
No.
Watch Weekend Family Review with Dollarich every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and a repeat at 7 p.m. Weekend Family Review, bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generations.
Maraba, and that is to say you're welcome to this beautiful program, Weekend Family Review Show, right here on GTV Live with me, Evangelist Johnny called Dollarich, and I'm so blessed having you watching this program right now. But please call somebody to tune in to watch the program. And as usual, we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. Interestingly, we have our videos on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you just type in Weekend Family Review and you get to watch our videos there. And let's take our scripture for the day as we usually do. And today we want to look at Psalm 35 and verse 25. It has something very interesting there. It says, do not let them say to themselves, we have what we wanted. Do not let them say we have devoured him. And that is our prayer for today, that God will not give us up for the enemy to devour us, and God will not let them say at the end of the day exactly what they thought or what they wanted to happen to us have happened. And you know what? Today, God is going to secure and protect your family, protect your marriage, protect every business of yours, protect you wherever you are. I'm so blessed today having you being part of the show, and our commandate has not changed. Here we say we are bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generation. I have these wonderful friends who will be helping to do the discussion shortly after this break. Don't move, we'll be right back.
When you do not forgive somebody who has hurt you, then it means you are telling God that deal with me as I've also dealt with that person.
Wow. If I train my child such that he comes out of school and he cannot do an alternative job, then I think as a parent, I am failing.
Intercede in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, the midnight that you cannot sleep and thinking about this child. Tell yourself, Lord, I hand over this my wayward child unto you.
It is not about the job the person is doing in terms of what we think. But at the end of the day, is it the will of God? Is that what am I looking at pleasing God or looking at pleasing the people around us?
Once you get into marriage, unless it's a very threatening situation where life and death, is on the line, I think that it's very unhealthy for couples to be talking about breaking up and threatening them. It doesn't really solve. If the person is unrepentant, that cannot change it. Start with prayer.
Watch Weekend Family Review with Dollarich every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and a repeat at 7 p.m. Weekend Family Review, bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generations.
You're welcome back, and thank you so much for being part of the show. And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show right here on GTV Live. And we say we are bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generation. We do believe in you. We do believe in your family. And let me take this opportunity to let you invite somebody also to watch the program. And we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. And you know what? We have our videos on YouTube. So when you go go to YouTube, you just type Weekend Family Review and you get to have our videos there so that you can watch some if you miss any episode. And today I'm so blessed, and I'm a bit humbled because I have my personal friends, I can call them, on this program. And on my immediate left is this beautiful lady, and you know what? If you are seeing me all nothing and all colorful, is because she did this piece for me, and I want to say a big thank you to her. But I'll let her introduce herself. She's right here on my immediate left. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dollar.
And how are you?
Fine, thank you.
You're looking all good.
Thank you.
Wow. Let's get to know you.
Okay. I am Queen Borisa Fan TV Mrs. And I'm also the smoke ambassador.
Wow.
The only ambassador in Ghana.
I know that. No wonder I'm all colorful today, and I want to say a big thank you once again, and you're welcome once again. And on my far left is this brother, friend, a man I respect so much, and he's in the person of Dr. William Artulik, and he's a legal practitioner. He's a man I love so much. He's a father, and I salute him. He's such a wonderful friend. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Very, very good.
I like your heart, and I like the way you're looking all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're
It's
looking
been a while.
splendid.
Thank
If I knew you were
It's
going
all,
to be in smoke,
Queens, you know.
I would have been here in my smoke also.
I think that's what we have to organize so that we all be in
Exactly.
our smoke.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be
You know,
fantastic.
wow. You're welcome once
Thank
again.
you very much.
Wow. And viewers, quickly we want to go into our discussion, and today we want to look at something quite interesting. And you know what, this particular topic, I want you to call somebody to tune in. If you have anybody you think you want the welfare of that person, especially around this area of discussion, please call the person to tune in to watch the program. Today we want to look at the topic familiarity and disrespect in marriage and in relationship, where people sometimes become so familiar with each other, and that a magic word like I'm sorry, please, and all that sometimes is discarded, and people just say things anyhow and come. I mean, I'll go to my far left. They said ladies first, but I'll let my lady hold on for a little bit, and then I'll go to my far left. I want Dr. Atulik to give us his first take on this topic. Dr. Atulik.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dollarich. This is a very profound topic that you've come up with, and lives, relationships, families, friends, couples. Living together is either happier or very painful based on the issue of respect. And what I always tell myself is that we are all, made in the image of God. The same blood flows in every human being.
That's right.
No human being is more or less a human being, regardless of your status, your wealth, your education, your social standing, whatever. Human beings are human beings. And what makes us human beings is reciprocity of respect.
Wow.
You respect somebody, the person respects you. We actually live in this world because of human beings. From birth to death.
That's right.
The most important things we do in life are done for us by people. We only have a sense of, integrity, a sense of being human when we are respected.
Wow.
And so it is very important that especially couples and relationships generally, we respect each other.
Wow.
That is what will bond any relationship. As soon as disrespect comes in, it's going to be a lot of
a challenge,
big
and
challenges,
tough.
very,
Wow.
very big issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So respect is really the key for humanity to stay together and live happily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show right here on GTV Live, and we're actually discussing familiarity and disrespect in relationship and in marriage, and where sometimes people get so used to others, and the magic word, I'm sorry, please, and forgive me, and all those things are messing, and people can just open their mouth and say anything they want, and at the end of the day, they get to bruise people's ego here and there, and husband and wife cannot relate well, and children, parents are always having these loggerheads here and there. But today we want to look at it critically, and that is the more reason why you should call somebody to call somebody to tune in to watch this program. And we still have our WhatsApp line, app screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. And as I said earlier, we have our videos on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you just type in Weekend Family Review with Dollarich, and then you get to have the videos to watch. And let me go to my beautiful queen, and she's actually queen as well, and she'll give us a take on it for a start.
Okay, I want to talk about respect first. Once you see a prefix, this, I think there was this WhatsApp circulating a few days ago about the letter D. And that D is for bad things, D is devil, D is demon, D is disrespect.
That's right.
So disrespect, it's from the word respect. And respect is one key thing, one fundamental thing everybody, let me not say even Christians, Christians, Muslims, unbelievers should hold key. That is what my brother said, Doc said earlier, that is the only thing that can hold us together as a society.
That's right.
To respect is to be polite, to be nice to somebody. When you added this to it, then you are being impolite, you are being rude, you are being uncivilized.
That's right.
Yes. I think God showed so much respect to Abraham before God even destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. He went to Abraham. Abraham, this is what I want to do. What do you think about it? Let's dialogue. Let's come to a compromise. What do you think? Oh, God said, if I get 300. Abraham said, oh, this. So they kept bargaining. They bargained till God agreed to what Abraham proposed.
That's right.
So respect is one key thing. Even God himself
shows humanity. Wow.
So that is the best thing. That is the best gift you can give your colleague, can give your friend, can give your brother. No matter your status, no matter. When you go to the mortuary, I had a chance to visit there once when a friend died. And I heard before you enter, it's written there, before you enter, we were once like you. And when you step out, on the doorpost, you see, you shall return or something of the sort. So we are all mortals.
That's right.
No matter your color, no matter your race. So respect for one another is the only thing that can bond marriages, that can bond relationships, that can even bond businesses.
That's right.
Some companies are collapsing just because superiors don't respect juniors.
That's right.
Likewise, subordinates don't respect superiors. So if it's one ingredient we can use to spice our day-to-day activities with each other, and I think we'll go a long way to making us better people.
Wow. This is serious, and let's look at it. You see, from what is happening now, you know, there are some people who will naturally respect you because probably there's a demand, or maybe they are looking out for something. They have a particular reason, because I know some people, they will show you that respect because of what they get from you or that kind of a thing. And but should that be the case? I mean, Dr. Actually.
Well, that's very natural. There are a number of reasons why people show respect. As you said, because they will you are their benefactor. So they depend on you, and so they will want to respect you. That is not bad. That is okay. But essentially, we should respect because the others are human beings. Okay? Respect starts from you respecting yourself first. Like the Bible says, do for others what you want them
to
do for you.
That's right.
Right? So every human being, your dignity is, you only feel as a human being when you are respected. So since you think people should respect you, respect others regardless. It is not bad to respect people who have helped you, showing gratitude, sort of. But it is more important to respect people because they are human beings.
Wow.
And it's something that we have to put into our consciousness. The more conscious we become that we have a duty to show respect to our fellow human beings because they are human beings just like us, then it helps. Wow. But, you know, there could be several other reasons why people want to show respect. And if you don't put that consciousness in you, when you don't get anything from the person again, then it's either you expect something in the future, or you expect some favors, or you are actually dependent on the person, or you think that the person can do something for you or somebody related to you, then you are showing respect. Those are what they say fanful
respect.
respect. Some people actually in your presence will make you feel that they are respecting you. When they leave you,
Then they
they
have
say
their
all
own
kinds
way.
of things behind you. That's what they say fanful respect. Respect the person genuinely,
Genuinely. That's the word.
because he or she is a human being like you, and you want to be respected, and so show respect. And one thing I have noticed in life, largely, there might be some few exceptions, very rare exceptions. What you do gets back to you. When you show respect to people, the natural tendency is for them to respect you back. And so when you show disrespect, you're most likely to be disrespected. Whether the person is a child, whether the person is your junior or subordinate. When you show respect to people, you get it back, especially when you are in a more favorable position. You are a superior, or you are an elderly person, and you show respect to the person who in your mind you think is which concept I don't think human beings should put in their minds. Nobody should put in his mind or her mind that he or she is superior or of a higher standard than any other human being.
But
our circumstances may be different, but we are all human beings.
That is where the issue is. Most of the time, people who are up there wishes or want like those down there to shower them with that kind of respect, because they are in position. They are up there.
I don't think that anybody deserves respect more than the other. Everybody deserves respect. Because everybody is a human being.
Wow.
The dignity of the human being in you is that you are respected. That's when you feel that, oh, me too, I'm a human being.
Okay.
You have no idea how profound, the profound effect that you have on people when you show them respect. In fact, most of the leaders of the world who have made history and who have become heroic is primarily because they show respect to all manner of people regardless.
Wow.
Those who are very pompous and arrogant and disrespect, you only use your power. And that's where you get fanful respect because of fear.
That's right.
That's not genuine respect.
Wow.
Behind you, they will say all kinds of things.
Wow.
So in sum, I will say that do not respect people for what they have or because of what you expect. Respect them because they are human beings, just like you. When you cut their skin, the blood that flows out, the same blood will flow from your own when it is cut. So essentially, we are human beings. If we agree with this and we practice this, the several conflicts that surround us in the whole world, in families, among friends, among tribes and ethnic groups will disappear.
Wow. Yeah. Now let's look at this area where some people get so used to become very familiar with each other, and it's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with if I say anything to him or if I say anything to her, it should be normal. Especially in marriage, your wife gets so used to you, your husband gets so used to you, and anything goes, and that respect then is missing. I don't know what you can say to that.
I think there is a thin line between being nice, being friends with your spouse, and disrespect.
Okay.
Most Christians or most couples or most partners would want to, not tread cautiously when it comes to respecting their partners or their spouses. What happens is that you get so much used to your partner fundamentally, your partner should be your friend. That's what I keep saying.
That's it. All right.
He should be your friend. But even friends should respect each other. Because you all have different opinions. If I'm your friend, I should respect your opinion. I should respect what you think. Likewise, if you're my spouse, I'm your wife, I'm your husband anyway, but we are from different backgrounds, with different upbringings, with different training, sometimes even different religions.
That's right.
But the sense of your partner being a human being and having feelings just like you should let you know that, okay, if I go to this extent or to this extreme, my partner will be offended. Therefore, let me know my boundaries. Let me know my bounds. You should be able to package your requests, your arguments, your comments in a way that you don't step on your partner's toes. Yes, he's your friend, but go about your dealings in a more respectful manner. I would say respect is synonymous to being selfless. Being selfless. So if I'm selfless, I have your interest at heart.
That's right.
It's not about what I think or what I feel or what I want to get done. Some spouses want to take an entrenched position. This is what I want to do, and so be it. It's fine now.
My way is fine now.
Just take it or leave it. But you should know that you are living with somebody who has different feelings as well. So you should know how to manage the two, and don't let familiarity. It's nice to be nice to your spouse. You can laugh, you can go to the extreme, but when it gets to knowing the boundaries, knowing the limits, knowing how far you can go, just know that he's a human being. If this is said to you or this is done to you, you react in the same way. So give that little space. Just go the extra mile and give your spouse or your partner that respect.
Wow. Now,
Let me quickly add.
Please do.
Familiarity, as they say, breeds contempt.
Exactly.
So the reality of this world is that the closer and the more familiar you are with somebody, there is tendency for you to be loose and to be very free and flexible and flow with the person.
That's right.
That is not to disrespect. As soon as you start disrespecting people, means you do not value their views. You do not. You are not polite to them. You think that you are superior, you are better. So familiarity will make that reservedness, that the way you are more careful with people who are distant from you. When you are close, you have a spouse, a very close friend, you tend to be unrestricted. That is not disrespect. Okay? The disrespect comes in when, out of that familiarity, you get tired, and so the caution and the carefulness with which you approach others, you throw to the gutters, and you just say anything. That's where we should guard against. But there's nothing wrong being free, flexible, people jokingly and loosely. But like my sister said, you should know where the boundaries are.
Wow.
When you are close with somebody, and you should know when the person is getting to the edge where you should start say sorry and retract and but I mean, we cannot run away from it.
Wow.
The closer you are to somebody, the more likely you are to be very loose and say things very freely, which may have unintended consequences of making the person angry. But you should know. And when you respect somebody, the person knows that you respect him or her. And that is the important thing.
I think let me add to that.
Please.
That is why in some setups, you see some bosses trying to be a bit, let me call it stiff-necked.
Yeah.
They are too serious,
Tough,
they are pompous, and they are tough. Why? Because they feel, should they lose a little bit guard and their workers get so familiar with them, they'll lose their respect. But come think of it, businesses that have thrived now or are doing so well are with bosses who have very good relationship with their employees.
That's right. That I can even attest to.
Because it gives the employer or the employee the chance to approach you and tell you the realities on the ground. That, boss, things are not going well. Can we try this way? Can we try that way? However, employees are cautioned or partners are cautioned not to see that as a weakness.
Wow.
It's just nice to be nice to people. But it's also just nice to know your boundaries. Like I said earlier on,
Mm.
just respect the person's opinion, and just stay in your own corner.
Wow.
In politics, they say, we call them sycophants. They sing praises to you. They see you, oh yes, sir, master.
sir.
They are all over you, showing so much respect.
That's
to
when
you.
they get what they want and you
for
turn back,
respect.
that's
Exactly. But once they can't get what they need from you, then that is not respect. Respect has to do with going out unconditionally, going all out to show love to each other or be nice to people unconditionally. And in our setup, you realize that most people tend to look down upon the artisans and low salaried workers. Sometimes you
right.
see how people treat security men at the post.
That's right.
And I have one philosophy. I'm like, okay, I'm a human being. Should something happen to me here and now, let's say I'm the boss. It is my workers who pick me up.
That's right.
So let me show them respect. I'm a subordinate. If something should happen to me now, it's my boss who pick me up. Let me show him respect. If we get this mind that is in Christ in all of us, look at
That's
Christ.
right.
Christ went the extra mile to wash his disciples' feet. He's supposed to be the boss. You can imagine if Christ was the Christ of today.
In our days.
In a day, you can imagine the bodyguards you have. Before you see him,
right.
you have to book appointment for 1 year. But this man was all out there. He humbled himself. He washed his disciples' feet. He ate with them. He dined with them. Not in different bowls. Let's do it together. If you have that same mindset that no, we are all equals. Even Christ was, in quote, the Son of God, came this low for humanity. If you can do that to each other, then you'll go a long way to help all of us.
Wow, and the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show right here on GTV Live. And you know, here we say we are bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow generation. It is all about you and your family and the well-being of your home. Now, it is our prayer that God will always keep your family together. We still have our WhatsApp line, up screen, our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Now, let me use this opportunity to say this. Our WhatsApp line, please, anytime you send a message. Now, I've always wanted to do this, but let me make it clear. If you want to send a message, just send your name and your view, your comments, and let us even know where you are. I mean, where you are calling from or where you are sending your messages from, and then we'll get to have a chat with you and all that. Some people just saying hi, hello, sup, and it ends there. And you say, please, can I get to know? And sometimes it goes dead and silent, and we don't know exactly what you want to. The line is very active, very, very active. So every message you want to send across, please send us your name, your detail, where you are calling from, where you are sending us the message from, and who you are, and let us get this program going on. Thank you so much. You know, that's why I love you so much, and it's all about you and the family. And then today we are actually discussing familiarity and disrespect, where we lose that respect, that touch for each other, and sometimes we treat each other anyhow. But it's getting quite interesting here. Let's go to my guest once again and see what will happen. And Dr. Atulik, let me come to you. You know, with this disrespect issue, sometimes in marriage, we get to have couples complaining. I mean, sometimes, especially the men, and you don't respect me, you know. Like you are saying, it's reciprocal. I mean, what you give out is what you get back. But is that in other cases? I mean, I don't know what you can say.
Yeah, so like I said, there are always exceptions in every situation. But largely, what you do gets back to you.
Okay.
When you disrespect your spouse, there is a greater tendency you'll be disrespected. When you show respect, you will get respect back. It is true, there are a lot of times couples complain, especially the male, that they don't get respected by their spouses. I think the key thing is the consciousness. I can't say this enough. And generally, men, you know, we are socialized in an environment where the man is the head of the family and feels that he should be respected. So the slightest signal of disrespect is taken seriously by the man. But I think that my advice to all, especially men, is show more respect. Take the lead. Be an example. You see, no human being, no matter how evil that you are a human being. You have a heart. Okay? You will get to a point to you ask yourself, but what am I doing? What am I doing this to this person who is so kind and so respectful? And so you are likely to take a lead from what is coming. But if you, the man, you just get, angry, shouting around, you don't respect, you're just echoing words.
That's right.
And that doesn't change the situation. Set an example.
That's right.
Show your spouse what respect is. Let him or her see that this is what we call respect and this is what I'm getting from you. By example. Most of the time we tend to tell people what we want them to do. Talking plenty. Show it by deed. Okay? Show it by then. If you know that once you start disrespecting your spouse, you're actually disrespecting yourself.
Exactly. Wow.
Because any person who feels disrespected, he or she loses his dignity. If you are not, if you cannot have a lot of confidence about your own dignity, your self-image is bruised, your output is low. When you go out there, you cannot perform. Because you are always psychologically haunted by a feeling of being disrespected. Instead of you to spend quality time improving yourself and increasing your output and progressing in life with the whole family, you are having to sit down and brood about over how you are being disrespected. So if you are disrespecting your spouse, you're actually creating unhappiness for yourself. How can I be happy with you when I am not happy with myself? Because you are not showing me respect. So if we want to live happily together, we should respect each other.
Wow.
And once we respect each other, then it's reciprocal. But there are exceptions. There are a few cases where you do whatever you want to do. Somebody just feels that he or she is whatever. But again, that comes from the early stages. Birds of the same feather, they say, they flock together. So you shouldn't. You should know that this is somebody I respect and I can live with, and I want to share my life, the rest of my life with, before you come together. But having said that, like I said, the principle of respect doesn't limit itself to only your spouse. It should go to everybody. And when somebody is disrespecting you, don't complain too much about it. Show the way. By showing respect to the person.
You see, the other side to this particular question is where, you see, I've heard it from some quarters, right? That, the women, like the way you start your relationship, boys, you have that thing going. And so when you are even married, you still see your husband to be the same, the way you used to go about things is just so open and so natural. But along the line, the men, they feel now they are husbands, they are fathers, so they are graduating to some, so they need that kind of to be accorded with that kind of respect. But with the women, the same journey I know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So what has changed? Even you are my husband, but you are still Johnny, that kind of a thing. Is that the case for you, man?
I am a very strong women empowerment activist or gender activist, let me say. But when it comes to issues of marriage, issues of the home, I take different stance. I'm a Christian and I want to always go the biblical way.
That's right.
Bible says the man is the head of the family. And it says, men, love your wives. And women, respect, be submissive.
That's right.
Unless you want to reverse the equation. And some women feel that because, due to some challenges, the man is out of his job, and then she is now the breadwinner. She would want to turn the equation such that she now attains the respect and the man becomes submissive. It is a no. Women are being admonished to go out there and respect their spouses. when you are in a relationship, I said earlier that you have to be in a relationship with your friend. So the women feels, oh, the man is my friend, and like you said, they go all out, and everything is just cool.
Yeah.
But once you marry is a transformation. I keep saying that some things you didn't receive as a single man or woman, when you marry, you get it. Because God upholds and loves marriages.
That's right.
So once you marry, it's a new phase of your life.
That's right.
Therefore, you should learn that is the phase you even get to stay with the man more. Maybe you thought you knew him, you don't know him. That is the stage you have to even show your husband more love and more respect.
Wow.
And respect, if it's Bible says if it's possible, live at peace with all men.
That's right.
Respect, whether it is you or not, because we all have different upbringing. Somebody's upbringing might have shaped his life in a way. He's a bit pompous, he's so disrespectful. But once you marry, you realize that you make a conscious effort to respect your spouse.
Wow.
Because you live under the same roof for God knows how long. Till death, Bible says, till death do you part.
Right.
We won't believe that till death do you part. Unless otherwise you have a different agenda. But if you want to stay with this person for the rest of your life, then you should learn to respect your spouse's opinion.
Wow.
So women should learn to appreciate that no, the phase, the hey, yo phase is over. I'm a married woman. And Bible just requires, if you're a Christian, a believer, then Bible requires that I respect my husband. If you don't have it in you already, you have to learn it.
Wow.
You can learn everything. If you need counseling, talk to your church leaders, your church pastors, and talk to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit help me to respect my husband. And like Doc said, once you respect your husband, he loves you more. I haven't seen any husband disrespecting his wife, who is a nice person.
That's right.
So it's reciprocal. I respect you, respect me. You respect him, he loves you more. So it's one thing we can do as Christian ladies. And also, I think when it comes to disrespect, I feel people are biased towards women. It's just like it's women who don't respect. But frankly, there are men who don't respect. And what is disrespect in that regard? Let's not limit it to harsh words, insulting words. If in this millennium century you beat your wife, it's disrespect.
That's terrible.
If you don't take care of your
That's
your
actually
wife,
criminal.
that's criminal. That is a legal part of it. But in our homes, we call it disrespect. If you don't take care of your household, your family, it's disrespect. If you don't sit down to communicate with your wife in the best possible way to share your ideas and views, it's disrespect. So let's not limit it to women shouting, screaming when they are angry. Yes, which comes occasionally. But respect and disrespect goes beyond just mere words and insults. Your attitude towards your spouse. We say that the little things. She's entering the car, women, open the door for her. That makes us feel, this man respects me. And I think for us, it's just very basic. We don't really demand that much to show respect. Before your colleagues, that's my wife. That is just what makes us feel we are respected. So men can likewise show respect to their wives or spouses by how they carry and portray them even to the world. Yeah.
Now, before I come to you, let me take this opportunity to salute my father, Bishop Charles Ajinasari, Perez Chapel, and you're such a great father. I remember some years back, he made a statement that your wife should be able to look at you in the face and have that confidence to say anything she wants to say, not being quelled in, because there are some husbands can be very intimidating, and their wives can't even open up, when it has to do with disrespecting, I don't know, should that be the case? Because if your wife can't express herself genuinely or properly before you, and anytime she says something you feel she disrespects you, how do you handle yourself?
This is a very very difficult this thing. People should feel free to express themselves all the time. In fact, if you are living together, you go through a lot of trauma if you cannot express yourself. So there should be an avenue for people to express themselves. But you should know who you are dealing with. Express yourself in a non-threatening manner, in a polite manner, right? So, yeah, it's very bad to be very intimidating whether to your spouse, to your children. You shouldn't be intimidating. You should allow people
To feel free
to feel
around
free and speak to you. No, respect means that everybody is free, everybody is happy, everybody speaks their mind politely. We just have to be polite.
That's right.
You should be polite even to your children. You don't have a right to make it difficult for your children to speak their mind. But your children should also speak in politeness.
That's right.
And it's a whole training that families should go through.
Wow.
So that we live like a civilized family. Civilized people. Respect doesn't mean we cannot disagree.
Okay.
If I don't agree, I don't agree. And for as long as we are different human beings, we are not bound to agree on one thing.
That's right.
But we should be polite enough to respect the views of the others. If you go into politics, this is the genesis of so much conflict, accusations, and we cannot have the same position
All the time.
all the time.
That's right.
And it is actually healthy for us to be logical and to reason out our positions. And if you are persuaded by it, to stay with it. But that does not make you superior to the other person. Yours is one view. And the other people also have another view. So disagree with them respectfully. That's what in law we always say, that respectfully I disagree. Which means that you are entitled to your view. There is some sense in it. But that sense doesn't. It's not persuasive enough, and so
That's
I
right.
hold a contrary view. So holding contrary views with your spouse or your friends is not disrespect. It is the way you make their views look, and you think that. In fact, I have a serious problem with people who think that they are always right. It's so painful. How can you be the person who is always right? No.
If it's not your way, then there's no way at all.
So sometimes you are right. Other times other people are right. And so you should be flexible. So don't intimidate people. Let people feel free to speak their mind and to agree and disagree with you politely.
I know there are some women who are out there and they say to me, okay, anytime I say something, he feels I don't respect him. And when you are with a man and you can't express yourself, and because he wants to be that kind of a god, and always want to be worshipped. And so anytime you go, you have to bow, you have to even, your choice of word, you even have to season it. You have to, create words to suit his kind of domain. When you're with such a man, how do you handle yourself as a woman?
I think communication is key in every marriage or in every relationship. And communication can be handled in diverse ways. So if you are a woman out there and you feel you're not comfortable with your spouse, or with your husband, or with your partner, because he's so intimidating that you find it difficult to even communicate with him. I would say what you can do in that scenario is to know when to approach him. We all have our ups and our downs. We have our good moods and our bad moods. So if you have something serious to talk about, know when to communicate what you have to say. And we can also learn to refine our words. But fundamentally, your spouse is your friend. That is what I keep saying and I keep hammering on. That if your spouse is your friend, yes, I should always look at my husband and tell him in the face, this is the situation, this is the point, this is not right. And I expect him to just take it and just know I'm telling him the truth.
That's right.
But if you're on the other side where the man is so intimidating and whatever you say, she's disrespectful, then I would want to advise that take him to the Lord in prayer. That is one. Number two, also be very sure of your approach. there are several ways to kill a cat. So if you think there's the approach I've been using over the years, he keeps feeling I'm disrespectful, then why don't you try a different approach by changing your choice of words? But before somebody starts showing that attitude of intimidating, then he might be going through some problem for some hardships.
Okay.
Some people go through depression, or he's going through some circumstance that is making him not always in a good mood, or he has lost his job. So everything around him, it's so annoying. Then as a woman, you can win your husband with love. You manage your choice of words. Yes. No.
Let me quickly add to that.
Okay.
There are some basic things, very basic things that we can do to win people over when they have even taken some entrenched positions.
Okay.
I give a very simple example. Husband comes home, doesn't want to bath. Wife says, "Oh, please, there is water is ready. Please go and bath."
Take a shower.
So I don't feel like bathing. No, you must bath. You have to go and bath. If you don't bath, you're not lying down.
Exactly.
You know, a number of guys will say, "Okay, that's nice. So I must bath." So if I don't bath, okay, so let's see.
Okay.
So even when the person would have gone to bath, just because you are making it an imposition with this thing, some people will say, "Okay, I want bath and I want to see what you can do." This little thing will escalate and become
a whole issue.
Right.
Wow.
The same guy. So go and bath. So I don't feel like bathing. So okay, that's fine. It would have been very useful for your health if you bath, but never mind. If you don't feel like don't feel like bathing, you sit down in the middle of this. Say, "Yeah, I think let me just go and bath."
Yeah. So the approach is very key.
Absolutely important.
Wow.
And there are several times that people just take a position that I want to tell this person that you cannot order me around.
That's where the issue is.
Do you see? So we must just learn. We must know. I can read my spouse and know what she wants, right? And I see the approach that she's using. I would have been willing to do what she's asking, but I think the approach is wrong. And I want to say that, look, you cannot do it like this. Okay? So we should learn to know each other so that we appeal to the good conscience of our friends, our spouses, that they don't feel that they are being ordered around. Nobody likes to be ordered around.
That's right.
Okay? So if you've been talking to your husband repeatedly and she's always saying you disrespect him and she's not listening to you, please check yourself. Anytime you think that somebody is doing something to you, the first point of correction is re-examine your own approach.
Okay.
Am I doing it right? Is there a way I can change it? You'll be surprised that the person will even go to the extra mile and do beyond what you want. It's all about perception. Everybody wants to, thinks that there's a territory. I should not allow him or her to invade into my territory.
That's right.
So understanding your spouse or your friend or your people that relate to you is very important. And don't be intimidating. Don't impose. Be very friendly, conciliatory, allowing people options and letting them know that they are free to decide and you will support them even if they take the other side. Me as an individual, if I want to take a route which my wife disagrees, but she expresses and says that, well, since these are the good reasons why I said it, but once you are persuaded, I will support you. I'll think again. On my own, I'll think again.
Even though she disagrees with you, but still,
I will think again. That I will realize that this is a person who really is interested in supporting me. She's not insisting that I go her way. More than not, I will reflect on her option. And I say, you know what, I think what you are saying is right. But if she keeps insisting, no, your way is wrong.
And the tone and
your way is wrong. You have to do it like this. Sometimes when you even feel that she's right, you just want to make a point. You just want, some men have gone hungry and not eating just to make a point. Not because they are not hungry or they don't want to eat the food.
But they just want to prove a point.
Just want to prove a point. And that's very, that's what happens around. So know how you talk to your spouse.
Know how.
Just know how to talk to your spouse.
Wow.
Just knowing how to speak can make people change and do things that ordinarily they would normally not do. So when you say it doesn't respect, check yourself first.
Check yourself.
Yeah. Let me add to that.
Please do.
When you read Proverbs 15 verse 1, it says that soft words, soft words, let me say, cast away anger.
That's
or
right.
reduces anger. But harsh words stirs up anger.
That's it.
So as a woman, as a wife, as a partner, you should know the approach is very key. The way it is being communicated. Sometimes it's so annoying that you want to just flare up and just go all out, just tell him your mind and that's it. No, but if you try the other approach, if there's the approach you're using all this while and he thinks you are disrespectful, then try to be nice, try to be polite. Bible says even with your good works you can win them.
That's right.
With your good works as a wife, you can win your unbeliever with your husband who's an unbeliever, or you can win your boyfriend who's an unbeliever even to Christ. So soft words can go a long way to help change your husband's attitude towards you if you feel he's disrespectful. So let's learn our approaches very well.
The approach is very important.
Very
and
important.
The program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show. I'm telling you, it's getting quite interesting here. We still have our WhatsApp line, app screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. We've been discussing familiarity and disrespect. And, sometimes you see some men and some women saying all sorts of things, and sometimes you wonder whether these people are couples, and it's quite interesting. And you see some kids, children and parents exchange, it's amazing. Sometimes you see some encounters and you wonder, except the Lord. It's not easy. Now let's look at this, Dr. Tulik. If you have a spouse, this question is to the both of you, and somebody who has went out not to respect you. I mean, all out. I don't respect. No, there's nothing you can do about it, because there are some people who are living with people, and whether it is their upbringing or it is their makeup or whatever, that is how they are. This is who they are, and you are married to the person. What do? You stay and just tolerate the person?
Well, I have a different view. I don't think that it's ever the case that you'll be living, you would have married somebody living with the person and it's just out there that, look, I'll not respect this person. It's normally born out of the circumstances.
Okay.
There is something you are doing or not doing that is making the other party to show those disrespect. So, as I said earlier on, if you're a man or a woman and you think that you are not being respected, know that there is something which is the cause. So, do an introspection, examine yourself and try to find out, so what is it that I'm doing that is making my spouse not to respect me? You don't just get up and get married at once. People go through relationship, and there was at a point that there was respect. There's never ever going to be a marriage unless it is a forced one.
That's right.
When you don't respect each other from the onset. So there was some respect. It got to a point before the disrespect
came in.
There must be certain triggers. So do an introspection to find. So what triggered the change? What brought about it? You were doing certain things, you are no longer doing it, or there were certain things you were not doing,
now
you are not doing it. So go back and see what attracted both of you together, and why it is now, and work on that. But also, I mean, you have to pray. You have to pray and pray again. It's very important. Sometimes people go through all kinds of emotional stress and trauma at work and their other spheres of life that change their disposition.
That's right.
And they will vent it on those who are
the immediate people
around them.
Yes, right.
So sometimes it can be psychological. So you need to pray, and you who think that you are strong, okay,
help the one who is
help
weak.
the one who is weak, so that if somebody used to respect you but no longer respect you, then you must know that something is wrong. So seek out to help the person, but don't ever go and say you want to marry somebody who from the onset does not respect you, right? And I tell you a story to end. When I was growing up, once I went to a certain household with a friend, a northern brother who visited from the north. The way we appeared was different. I lived in Kumasi then. I was working at Tech at the time. I appeared a bit more well dressed, and the household we went to, they knew me, and he, from the rural setting, parceled himself in a different way. When they were offering us water, they gave me the water in a nice cup, and then gave him the water in a rubber cup.
Wow.
I was very seriously offended.
Wow.
So I took his water from him and gave mine to him, and I didn't drink. Okay. It taught me a very big lesson.
Wow.
Why is it that they gave me water in a mug, and then gave in
plastic,
some plastic, well, not too, because they are thinking that we are not the same. All right. When from the beginning you are having a relationship with people who are beginning to do these things, I back off. You must show respect to all people. What you do for me, do for others. Don't elevate one human being above the other. And that's what we normally do. So if you are starting a relationship, look out for respect. And I always want to see how you respect people who are low down there.
That's right.
It's a very important mark for me. So I've promised myself that never ever look down on anybody.
Wow.
You're not better than them. But I also don't believe that somebody else is better than me. You can be whatever you are. You can have whatever you have. I don't have the things you have. You also don't have some of the things I have.
That's right.
That is where we are different. But we are all human beings.
That's
You're not
right.
more human, and I'm not less human. I am not more human, and you are not less human. If we do this, then we can always live together peacefully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doctor said it all, but I'll still come again.
That's right.
To my women and to women. Faith without works is dead.
That's right.
Most women run to the prayer camps, run for prayers here and there because their husbands are disrespectful or their husbands aren't treating them well. Yes, prayer is key. It's very important. In fact, it's your lifeline.
That's right.
However, without the faith, which is the works, the works,
aspect of
without the action part of it, sister, you are doomed. God will do his part, but do your part as a married woman.
Wow.
Like Doc said, what were you doing before
And you
that
have
made
stopped.
this man love you from the very beginning, and now he's trying to show you attitude? If you can, set your husband down, set your spouse down, talk to him. Oh, darling, what has changed? What is your problem? Talk to each other. Get to know what his problem is. Sometimes it could be that he has a problem, not even you. But if you get to know what his problem is, then you can help him better. If it is you, then you amend your ways. So talk to your husband, talk to your spouse, and get to know what the fundamental issue is. But if you are in a relationship, you are not even yet married, and this is happening, then I'm sorry. He will do worse when he marries you. If he's doing this to you now, if he can't tolerate you in your this is a rosy stage of your relationship of your to be marriage. If he can't take you now as you are and disrespecting you, I have a friend who is going through that same challenge.
Wow.
The guy just disrespects her for no cause reason. She changes her WhatsApp DP and it's like, you did this because of me, Then he just insult her. It's a no. You're supposed to be friends and show respect to each other. Wow. When God is blessing, God doesn't see you as individuals. He sees you as a couple. And He's blessing you because you are a couple. So you should learn to respect each other as a couple, and God will shower His blessings upon the marriage.
Sorry to quickly add, respect the people around your spouse.
Wow.
Sorry, it could be one reason why your spouse is not respecting you. You're always thinking about the people on your side. What about the people on her side or his side?
That's right.
So you are doing every nice thing to him or to her, but she's not respecting you because she's thinking behind her mind or his mind that you don't show
respect
to my people.
That's right.
Okay. So again, as she said, if you are starting off, is he or she respecting my people? Okay. So I have known people who have gone cold towards their spouses, not because of
the personal issues,
but because of their people. So my wife doesn't seem to like my siblings or my aunties or my uncles or my mother. And it's from action. I can see that she does this to her people. Oh, my husband doesn't seem to like my siblings. I can see that he does this to his people, but he doesn't do that for. So sometimes the disrespect is not because of personal issues, but the people around. If you love somebody, you must love him or her true and true. And it must show. It must be genuine. It must extend to the people in his or her immediate environment.
Wow.
Yeah, just quick one. Say, if you love me, love my dog.
Exactly.
Yes. If you don't love my people, you don't love my tribe, you don't love my religion, you don't love my family, my hometown is disgusting, then you can't love me. I am not an island on my own.
Wow.
So if you don't love, like Doc said, you don't love the people around your spouse, then your spouse loves his family. So if you show respect to your in-laws, then your spouse can love you better.
Wow, I don't know about you, but I feel so blessed on this particular program, and I'm so grateful, and I want to say a big thank you to Dr. William Matulik for passing through the program and being a blessing to us on this show. Doc, thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
I'm so
it's
grateful.
always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And to my lady Queen, Fantive, Mrs. Fantive, I mean, thank you so much. As for this smoke, I'm so grateful. God bless you. Thank you so much.
You should have actually told me that you're wearing a smoke. I would have come in.
In fact, she'll bring another one, and then we'll all wear.
Thank you.
I'm the ambassador, so no problem.
And these are people I can easily call friends, and I want to say a big thank you once again to them. And viewers, thank you so much for being part of the show. But a quick one, 27, that is Sunday, we are meeting at Soul Care Assemblies of God, where we bring you Redeeming the Family Glory, the prayer program where we hold hands with family to pray for God's intervention into our marriages, into our relationship, into our family life, and miracles are happening. People who had issue with childbirth, things are happening. Just come join us. Let us hold forth and pray. You can call me personally if you want directions, and we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and a Facebook page. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together, but don't miss it. Soul Care Assemblies of God, Asherman Estate. Just come and let us pray to the glory of God. We'll see you same time next week, but please, a big thank you to my production team. They are wonderful. God bless you all. We'll see you same time next week. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
I hate him all anywhere I did. I bought for bad, him go to me. here.